And away we go. It is the Nightcap Special Friday edition right here on BearcatJournal.com. Brought to you, as always, by Hail Mary Sports Bar, located in Cheviot. They are right on the main drag on Harrison Avenue. They're in the Dora District, so you can walk from bar to bar with your drinks. They've got 27 TVs, 3 facing the outside, a 9-screen video wall. They subscribe to every sports package that DirecTV offers, so they can stream all the games, and every Cincinnati sports contest will always be on the video wall. They have food trucks on the weekends and randomly throughout the weeks. Got a brand new walk-in cooler. The draft lines are brand new. And not only do they pour the coldest beer around, but they do so in 32.8 degree beer frosted glasses. Hail Mary Sports Bar in Cheviot. Go see them. All right, Aaron. Camp isn't officially over. I guess they still consider, because it's not game week, they consider next week camp. But for us, for Bearcat
Camp
Journal
Higher Ground.
Camp Higher Ground is over, and camp is essentially the second scrimmage usually marks the end of camp. Today was the second scrimmage. So for BCJ content purposes, we're in the barn. The hay is in the barn. And first off, thanks to Keegan, because I think, working as a team, I thought we really did a great job bringing you guys coverage throughout camp. We had reports up every day. We had videos up every day. We were on the message board answering questions. So thanks to Keegan for doing a great job over the past 2.5, almost 3 weeks. Thanks to our members for consuming all the content, because we can do all the content in the world. It doesn't matter if you guys aren't reading it. So thanks to all of you. Thanks to you, Aaron. Thanks to Dave and Brent and Ryan and Jim Kelly and everybody that kind of brought the whole past 2.5 weeks or so together. It's good stuff, and I love doing it every year. It is definitely a grind, but it's one of my most favorite times of the year to do content, because there's so much to do. And how many times did you watch me get thrown in the ice tub? Don't lie.
Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing.
You haven't seen that yet?
Nope.
Yeah. They tricked me.
Good.
They made me think that they were getting Derek Canteen to throw him in the ice tub, and instead, all of a sudden, I had John Williams, D'Artagnan Tinsley, Gavin Gerhardt, and Marquez Parker carrying me from the media scrum all the way to the ice bath, and they tossed me in for a little swim.
Good.
So now that you know that it's out there, it's on Keegan's Twitter. You can go watch it for the rest of the night, and
I'll be checking that out for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have anything in your pockets?
No, I was able to get it out. My wallet took a bath, but I didn't have anything that could melt in there. So wasn't I just got one of those little, it holds your money and holds your credit cards and your insurance card, and that's about it.
Yep.
So yeah, that was I as soon as they picked me up, my phone was out of my pocket and I was kicking my shoes off. Keys were in the car.
Good.
I leave them in the car so they're not poking me during practice.
Yeah, you're safe to do that at Higher Ground.
Yeah, there's nobody's coming to steal your car at Higher Ground.
No.
But yeah, it was a great camp. I think we learned a lot. I think if this is how it's going to be, and transfers, and the freshman class are going to be as talented as this one was, and there's going to be this much stuff to watch, let's go. Because I didn't feel camp fatigue for a while. It was a good camp. It was an interesting camp. There was a lot to talk about, and I think I have a much better grasp of this team now than I did when camp started. And there have been years where it's it's kind of what I thought when camp started, and that's where we're at. So those are good camps.
I'm sorry that I wasn't able to make it out to Higher Ground more than at all.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be there Thursday. I was supposed to be there.
It's like the whole you don't have fall weddings, you don't have summer babies, and then you know.
Shouldn't be an issue going forward.
That's the last summer baby for Aaron, huh?
Shouldn't be an issue going forward.
I did want to get to something because it something dawned on me today that we haven't talked about that probably should be common sense, knowing like where this is at in like building Scott Satterfield's program. I just want to I want to go through this exercise or this conversation here because I think it's important to get your mind around this. We have obviously talked about improvements at quarterback and improvements at wide receiver and improvements at tight end.
So much in
line.
So improved so much, in fact, that Brendan Sorsby was named a Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award watch candidate.
Yeah, that's you guys have done that. We have talked him up quite a bit. But I think it's important to remember, and this hit me at the beginning of the scrimmage today when they came out with a very clear objective early in the scrimmage that they were going to run the ball. And I'm guessing some of that also was, we're going to get Corey his work. We're going to give him his work early, and then we're going to get him out. So we're going to run the ball at the beginning of the scrimmage to get, Corey 8 touches, whatever it was. They only ran like 65 plays today. So it wasn't anything like last Saturday where it was up over well over 100. This is going to, yes, the passing game should be improved, Aaron, but this is going to be a team that's success offensively is dependent on running the ball. They were one of the top 10 rush offenses in the country last year and did so with a lot of like things working against them. If you can add a competent passing attack to that should only, in theory, make the running game better. But I think they did something smart, is that they did not work. They worked on the running game, but they didn't work like full speed, guys getting hit, whatever. We didn't see a lot of that in camp, at least with like the main guys. Like Corey did not take much wear and tear in camp. Chance Williams a little bit more, Evan Pryor a little bit more, but they weren't pounding those guys into the ground out at higher ground. Some of that could have been the injury issues that they're adjusting to on the defensive line. Some of it is also you want to keep the mileage low on those backs if you're going to use them a bunch. I don't want people coming out of this camp, and they probably don't do this, but I don't want people thinking all of a sudden this is going to be a team that throws the ball 35, 40, 45 times a game. Because I don't think that's the case. And I don't think that that's how this offense is going to be the most effective, right?
Well, when you have a team that was a top 5 rushing team in the country, I think you'd be
technically
okay. I think it'd be silly to think that you're going to get away from the run as much as to pass 35, 40 times a game. I also think that, believe it or not, both can complement the other. And I think that's how you have to win ball games. I think that's how you score in the red zone. I think the fact that you did not have a passing game last season to speak of really whatsoever became an issue where you could not score in the red zone. You could not score, period. And I think that the fact that you have a run game that's going to be supported, not led, but supported by the pass game should be complementary, and it should lead to points on the board. It should lead to a better aesthetic on offense. It should lead to just everything should be trending up, including the run game. I would think that it would benefit truly by having a pass game that can do things at all.
Especially when you're talking about you've got a big time guy on the outside in Xavier Henderson. You've got what looks to be an outstanding tight end. Got a really good slot receiver. You've got 2 guys in that number 2 spot at the field. You got a couple tight ends behind Royer that can catch the ball. Gavin Grover had 2 touchdown catches in the red zone today, which why not use Gavin Grover in the red zone? He's 6'7"
Sure.
and can catch, like throw him the ball.
But
But
you also have some playmakers in, you mentioned the one slot guy, but you also Aaron Turner and Barry Jackson are they both offer you some different things that Tyron Smith is not necessarily going to offer you in that slot spot.
Yeah. So you should be like, the defenses should not be able to just look at you and say, if we stop the run, we're stopping Cincinnati. Because last year, essentially, that's effectively what happened. I mean, yeah, like we said, Monday, I think it was. I don't know what day it is anymore that we talked about something. But, it might have been Wednesday with Dave. Yeah, they had 2,000 plus passing yards last year, but like 600 of them came in the Eastern Kentucky game. And then the other 11 games, they had like, it's like 1,700, 1,800 yards in the other 11 games. That's not good enough. Not in college football in 2024. And, that number is going to have to be 2,500 plus in this season to get where this offense wants to go. I just don't think it's going to be, if people are thinking that this is going to be a pass happy team, I just don't think that's how it's going to be most effectively utilized.
If those numbers were put up in the American, you'd struggle to win. And they damn sure could not win games in conference. You won one game. There's your There's Exhibit A. I mean, it's right there.
And the team they beat fired their coach and gutted their roster.
You have to be able to move the ball in the air. You have to be able to move the ball in the air. And there's obviously been a focus there, as you said it. I believe you said it, if not here already, then in your notes from today. But they didn't really lean on the rush game until today, right? I mean, you haven't seen much.
Like the last 4 days or so, they've been running it more.
But you knew what you had. You're not using a bunch of new parts there outside of you did replace your right tackle.
Wilder. Yeah.
And you have some new backup pieces in Evan Pryor and Chance Williams, Manny Covey.
Do you know why you replaced your right tackle? Because you think that the guy you're putting there is better. So in theory, that should be an upgrade. Didn't mean to cut you off there, but yes, you're replacing your right tackle, but the reason you're doing that, the other guy is still there. You think with Philip Wilder, you're putting in a guy that can make you better. So,
and truthfully, I don't care if he raises the bar in the run game or not, as long as it elevates in the pass protection, because you certainly struggled some in the pass protection, and that's not singling anybody out. That's the entire line struggled in that regard.
Yeah, that wasn't just right tackle. They were a bad pass protection line.
Just wanted to clarify that. But if it elevates the pass protection, cool. And if not, you still have a hell of a swing tackle right behind him. So it's not like anything's set in stone or done and done. We'll see.
And there's still an element of this offense that we haven't seen, Aaron, that they have told us they're going to use a lot. And that's Brendan Sorsby running the ball. Because you can go through the motions of quarterback runs, but nobody can hit the quarterback.
Right.
So we don't know what that looks like. A guy can just go by and do this, and the play gets blown down.
And that changes things for how the quarterback's going to run the ball as well after that first hit.
Sure.
Des would always say it took that first hit of a game to really get the juices flowing for him in the game. So we'll see what Brendan's like after he takes that first hit. He sounds in interviews, he sounds like he's ready to be hit. He sounds like he's definitely fully on board for trying to get that going, that part of the game going. But
it was definitely part of his game.
Sure.
At Indiana running the football. And it's going to be part of his game here. And we haven't seen that yet. But we're starting to see the run game again. And obviously, this is a defensive line that's in flux. They're trying to figure it out. They're hoping they get Dante back sooner than later. They're trying to figure out how to replace Jalen Hunt, how to they didn't really ever have Micah Coleman, unfortunately, but they're trying to figure out how to generate pass rush. So they better run the ball well right now, like when given the opportunity. But the good news is, again, number 6 in the country. We know they can do that. We know that is going to be something that's productive. I just think important to know that, like, they're gonna kind of navigate this with the pass game leaning on the run game and not the pass game leading the way and the run game following behind. This is going to be a run-oriented offense. It's going to be a very good run-oriented offense. And the better it is, the more opportunities Sorsby and these weapons are going to have to be effective in the pass game. It should be a pretty balanced attack, which, that bodes well for Scott Satterfield in 2024.
Sure. I'm excited to see them line up, against Towson, just to be able to play a real team and see what you got, see what this offense can do with the weapons that they've added, with the players who are now in place. And we'll see what this defense can do. New scheme, new defensive line.
A thrilling contest with FCS DMV. That's going to wrap it up. We'll see you on Sunday. That's the nightcap. Brought to you by Hail Mary Sports Bar, right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya!